All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Everything Rocks podcast. We're back again, episode 8. That's awesome. We made it to 8. 7 took a minute. It took like 6 months for me to get to 7, but we're back to 8 1 week late. Well, 2 weeks. That's like 14 days. Almost 12 days. 12 days. I was trying to do the math. I know I'm trying to do this like a little more consistently. I definitely like fell off, and that was on my bad. I went through a bit of a depression spell, but you know what happens is what goes up must come down, but it's the same thing. It's like you got on the rebound, man. I'm back on the way up, baby. We're back on the way up. We got some stuff coming up this week, so it's Sunday. I got some open mics this week. I got a full week of work, and then right after work, Thursday, I'm headed to Chicago. Me and Josh Ostrov, we're driving to Chicago, 6-hour journey. We're not gonna get there till midnight. Like I'm like so. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of debating just going Friday morning because it's like I don't know if I want to drive right after work. But he said he'll drive some of the trip. So I think that kind of alleviates some of the tension for me because I definitely I'm not sure if I want to drive that much like 6 after work, especially like you ever. I can't even like eat after work. I'm so done with life by the end of my shift. Like and I don't even talk to anybody. Like when I'm at work, I'm by myself. I'm in the lab. I work in a lab. Don't know how I got that job. I'm not a science major, but I'm in the lab and I do things. I make stuff. I'm by myself. I watch Seinfeld all day. I'm watching Seinfeld all day, and like all the people I work with, they despise me for it. I think because I'm just in there. They're all talking to people. Their workday is way more intense than I am than mine is. They have to deal with like people. For a minute there, I was like a secretary, and that sucked. I hated talk. I got cussed out like 5 times. I hated that customer service. People go, oh, that's a teenage job, but it's like, have you ever dealt with somebody who's like irrationally upset about something you don't control? It's like arguing with your girlfriend. It's like, but you're not dating them, so you don't have like when you argue with someone you're dating, there's like a line. There's like something holding you back from saying the thing. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna like hit them in their knees because you don't know them, you know, or you do know them. You live with them. You love them. You know, you sleep next to them. But if it's somebody that you don't know and someone takes cheap shots, they're like, oh, you sound like a girl. It's like, oh yeah, like I hope your family died. You know. I had a dude call me on the phone, and I think this is the reason why I'm not a secretary anymore. Is I just did not hit the ball back. Like they're like, there's blood coming out of my mouth, and I was like, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry. Like I just didn't know how to respond. It's like I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to fix it. I can't be like, hey, come in here, doctor. You talk to him. Like I don't have that level of social maturity. Like I'm really bad, but like I can, like if you need me to talk to somebody through a crisis, that's when I'm at my worst. If you need someone to just sit there and kind of pat someone's back, and I'm really bad about like comforting somebody verbally. I can like with my presence, yeah, I'll be there, I'll hang out, I'll try to make you laugh. But like in my life, I've found most of the time, like when someone's freaking out, I lack the ability to calm them down, and that's not an admirable trait for somebody in the field of medicine. Which is I don't know why. I'm a communications major. I really should try to get another job, but I need to figure something out. To be honest, if I like Chicago, I might move there. I kind of want to be around my friends more. I feel like I need a change. I think Ohio is I like Ohio. But I think I need a change. I think we need to go to Chicago. I want to try New York, but I want to move around more. I want to do more stuff. I want to be out in the world. I want to try new things. I've realized that like especially this week. Last week on the podcast I said I was like I'm never going to clubs again. I'm never doing that again. Well, I went to a club again. I think I get it now. I think I understand the appeal of clubs. I think I get it. Is like no, like because before if I was sober, you're sitting there, people are dancing to a song you can't understand the words to, you can't hear yourself thinking. That's the point. That's the point. I was wrong. Like that's the point of it. You go there to not think. You're just be like, and it's like as long as you go in there and you're not like my thing is like I think I'm just like I think I just have like a romantic's mindset. Like every time I'm out, like I'm like I have like in the back of my head I'm like oh I might meet somebody. if you go into it with no expectations, you'll never be disappointed. It's like life. It's like you can't expect too much. You can't. It's like comedy. Like you're not gonna make it. Go to one open mic and then all of a sudden you're famous. You're Matt Rife. Like you got to go into it with the mindset of like, I'm just doing this to do this. Like I'm doing this to kill time. I'm doing this because I like it, and it's fun being with your friends. But it's like, God, you have to be drunk though. To like I was at this place last night and it was just strobe lights the entire time. And I don't know if dude, I might have whatever that's called. What's it called when you get the strobe lights makes you have a seizure? What's that called? I'm blank. Hold on, what is that called? What is that called? Let's take a second. Let's ask our let's ask our assistant ChatGPT. Let's see what's going on here. What's the condition that causes seizures when you see strobe lights? I got some crap last night because I used ChatGPT. I guess it's like really bad. Epilepsy, that's what it is. I knew some people. I don't know if I'm epileptic, but like I think last night if I would have had a seizure because it was pretty bad. I'm like dancing and stuff, and it's like I'm not a dancer. I just kind of move my hand. I really learned about myself is that I am bad at like I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like freaking I'm like Ricky Bobby. Like I don't know what to do with my hands when I'm like standing places. Like I'm sitting there. If you have a drink in your hand, all right, that's one hand occupied, but the other hand's just like floating. It's free safety. I don't know what it's doing. It's over here. It's over there. It's in my pocket. It looks stupid when it's in your pocket. You look like a dork when your hands in your pocket. And especially in public, it's like, get your hands out of your pockets, you know? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Get your hand in. But it's like, I don't know what to do. It's like, do I pretend like I'm dancing? Do I do a shimmy? Do I do the wave? I don't know what to do. And like, that's the thing is like, if you have a girl with you, you put your other hand on the girl. That makes sense. And the other hand's occupied. The other hand has a place. Not me. I'm girlless. I'm femaleless. I'm by myself. I'm a lone wolf in a land of people in relationships. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know, like, it's weird to me, like, because in my mind, you go to the club, or you go out to meet people, there are people in relationships who go to clubs, and I kind of get it, because it's like, you're just going to dance and not think, it is kind of fun, like, you're definitely, like, burning calories, but it's like, there's just so much chaos, like, there's people yelling at each other, there's people bumping into each other, there's, you know, I don't know, it's a whole new environment, for a young lad such as myself. So, hold on a second. What is that? What's going on here? Come on. It's not, what's full? Alright, we're 7 minutes in. Alright. Sorry, like, there's my little touch bar. Alright, there you go. I don't, Windows 11, my main computer is still Windows 10. And my other Windows 11's been out for 6 years, and I still haven't converted. I need to convert to Windows 11 because I remember back when Windows 8 was like or Windows 7 was like the old one, and like was it Windows 7 or Windows 8? I think it was Windows 7. I think Windows 8 was like the crappy one. But there's always a new OS. There's always a new operating system. I digress. I don't want to get into nerd speak because I think I'm like an undercover nerd, you know, like I've built computers, I know a lot about video games, I know a lot about like science and stuff, but God, I sound like someone who should be like selling roofs. I did sell roofs, but whatever, it's cool, that's not beside the point. I sold a roof to a guy, and then I just never came back. Like, I went to his house, I got up on his roof, I chalked it up, I marked all the damage, he signed an agreement, and I never came back. I have no idea. That guy might not have a roof now. I have no idea. I just kind of quit. Like, I just was like, I got my job where I work now, and I was kind of like, all right, I don't need this job anymore. I was only doing it because I was desperate. I needed money. It sucks when you don't have money. Money is like, it's weird because you, like, when you're a kid, you don't really need money. Like, your overhead is so low. You have, like, it's like, how much does gum cost? Nothing. You know what I mean? How much, like, I remember when I was a kid, the only thing I really bought, I go to the store and I buy Star Wars toys, and they were like $7.50. Like, I think they cost like $7.50 to get a toy, which now they're like $30 because inflation, like, freaking everything's $30. And the toys suck now. Like, I actually feel bad for kids. They don't even try to make toys cool anymore because they know kids are, why would you buy a kid an action figure and get them an iPad, and it's literally unlimited fun? Like, you literally just get them an iPad and they will literally never put it down. People want to shit on iPads, but it's like, how much plastic is not, and how many plastic stormtroopers aren't ending up in the ocean because a kid has an iPad? To be fair, there's probably more lithium miners being mistreated by their overlords, but I think the plastic, there's a sea turtle who's not like choking on a Han Solo toy. That's dumb. That is so dumb. So what did I do this week? Yesterday, aside from I went to the club after, but I had I was on the podcast. It was Lucas Mateus. He has a podcast called Just the Essentials. I was on there with a couple of people. Um, I There's James Godwin, really funny guy. There's Jeff, and then I'm blanking on the other guy's name, and I feel really bad because he was really funny. I'm terrible with names. And if I'm being honest, I was a wee bit inebriated. I took an edible before, and I said a lot of dumb things. Like, I never realized that, like, it's different when I'm editing my own dumb thoughts, because I'm like, whatever, it's me. No one's gonna listen to this. It's just me talking. I've seen the statistics. I know people only watch this. If they watch it for 10 minutes. They might watch it for 20. They listen for their name. If they don't hear it, they're like, he's not gonna talk about me. And you're probably right, because I try not to name names, unless they're my friends. My friends, I talk about them, but that's different. Just because I think, like, I want there to be a little bit of like, for comedy's sake, I think this is great for writing. Like, just being able to talk and talk and talk is it's a skill that you don't really you don't get a lot of practice in, especially when you work in a job like me where I'm like by myself all the time. So having like a little bit of an outlet to kind of free ball a little bit. Oh, that's some high quality H2O right there. The Waterboy is such a great movie. Man, I watched some, speaking of sports stuff, I've seen some sports documentaries, man, this week. I watched these on Netflix. They have the series, they're called Untold. And there's like all these different documentaries. I seen so many funny, there were so many good ones. I'm just going to go down the list of funny documentaries I saw this week. Okay, this wasn't Untold. I'm going to start with this one because it was the Celtics documentary. It was a documentary about the Celtics franchise, and it just went down. This was got to be one of the dumbest quotes I think I've ever heard in my entire life. It was, I can't believe somebody said this and they recorded it and they were like, yeah, that's really, like, because he said it. It wasn't like he said it. Like, I say things that are stupid because they are stupid. I want people to laugh. I know they're dumb. I don't if you don't, like, people take me seriously, that's on you. I didn't ask you to take me seriously. I'm a jokester. You know what I mean? I'm not selling, you know what I mean? I'm not running for president here. I don't care. All right? I tell dick jokes on stage. This guy, he purported to be like an expert of sports, and he said this so confidently. He said it so confidently. It was one of the dumbest lines I've ever heard in my life. He said, he goes, the beautiful thing about basketball is there's only one ball, so everyone has to share it. He said basketball is the only sport with one ball. It's like, as opposed to what? Every sport has one ball, you moron. Are you stupid? That doesn't even make sense. There's not a sport in the world that has more than one. I don't think there is. What is he talking about? Quidditch? Was he referencing Harry Potter? That's not even a real sport, you freaking idiot. He was like, that was the dumbest quote I've ever heard in my life. He's like, basketball's a beauty. There's only one ball. What, football has multiple balls? As opposed to what, soccer? Badminton doesn't have a ball, but it has one birdie. Tennis has one ball. Ping pong. Bowling. Even bowling's not even a freaking, I mean, it's a sport. It's a sport. I don't think you have to be an athlete. It's like golf. Golf has what? Well, golf has, I guess they have their own ball. But you're not, I don't think that really counts, because it's not like I can, like, hit somebody else's ball to fuck them over. Like, that's not the same thing. It's way different. Dude, last night, oh my god. Last night, speaking of sports, idiot, I was talking to this girl about basketball. I was talking, my friend, he's with this girl. They're like, I think they're dating or whatever. And I was talking to her friend, and we were talking about sports, and I was talking about basketball. And to be honest, I was half an edible deep. I was a little bit of inebriated. It's like 2 a.m. freaking daylight savings. I didn't know that was tonight. Lost an hour. That's awesome for this week, because I need sleep more than anything. I'm running on 4 hours last night. I didn't get home till like 5 a.m. And I'm exhausted. It always amazes me how at the beginning of the night you are offered a couch, and by the end of the night the couch is they make the offer at the beginning of the night, so they don't have to make the offer at the end of the night when you actually might take it. But like, I am exhausted right now, and I was talking to this girl about basketball, and I think I was trying to explain the 3-second rule, like in the paint, and how like in high school basketball, like there's offensive 3 seconds, so the defense can hang out in the paint the entire time. And I was trying to explain that. I was like, so like what happens is in basketball, if because there's an offensive 3 seconds, it means if the offender you can't just camp out in the paint and wait for the ball. But the defense they can hang out there, and what happens is the defense can kind of suck in, and it makes it harder for like penetration. You can't like penetrate into the paint and score easy layups. It forces you to shoot. That's why having good shooters on your team is so important, because it stretches out the floor and creates openings for people to cut, slice to the middle, get a ball, go backdoor, whatever. I was trying to explain that, and then in the NBA, there's defensive 3 seconds, so the defense can't be in the paint too. And what's important about that is like it stretches out the floor, because if the defense can't camp out in the paint, it means there's more space. It means it's more one-on-one, and it means like instead of having to beat all 5 players to the hoop, you just have to beat like maybe 1, 2 if the guy gets to the spot. But it's more or less, you got to be. We're talking about like spatial awareness. That I sounded like an idiot, and I immediately was like, she thinks I'm stupid. Immediately, I need to not care as much, because I'm like, why do I care? Why do I care if someone thinks I'm stupid? I am stupid, all right? I'm an idiot. I'm doing my best, but I'm basically like, I feel like I'm an undercover moron, you know what I mean? Like, I have education, I just don't know how to apply it, So I can't give that guy too much shit on the documentary, because, I'm an idiot, too. I couldn't explain the freaking defensive 3 seconds, which is not, like, it's a very, very common basketball rule. Like, I think most people know about that. I don't think she knew about it, but she didn't play basketball. She's just a volleyball player or something. That's pretty cool. She had like a specialized, she was like really good at serving. I was like, she could like curve the ball. I didn't know you could do that, sir. When I served, I would just hit the ball as hard as I could. And, I was doing I was playing volleyball like the way you play golf. Like I was like, where it goes is where it goes. Like I didn't even care. I wasn't aiming. I don't think you aim. Do you aim in golf? Can you aim? I think you're just swinging as hard as you can. And like if you're doing like the Happy Gilmore where you're like sprinting with it and going full speed. That's great. But okay, documentaries. Gosh, I got off track there for a second. I really went off on a tangent there. Untold. So there's the first documentary I watched on Monday. It's about this football player that went to Notre Dame. He was catfished by a woman, or a dude pretending to be a woman. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who's more dumb, is the football player or the catfish, because this was during a time when like catfishing wasn't like it wasn't. I feel like it was harder to do. Like it wasn't now. Like I can make an Instagram in 5 minutes. I can get fake pictures. I could AI half my pictures, and you might be able to believe I'm a real person. Back then this dude, like literally the guy who was the catfish, he got like pictures of his cousin and used her as his avatar. And he tricked this football player, and he was like a good guy. I think he was addicted to people. I think he liked. So I'm getting ahead of myself. The guy catfishing, he basically like had a relationship. He was texting, "Oh, I love you." They were praying together. They're calling all the time. He would like call, and he'd be like, "I'm gonna put my cousin on the line," and then he'd start talking as the man, and he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And then he'd hand the phone back, and he'd be like, "Hey, I love you." Like, he'd be like, "I love you so much." "Oh, my cousin's here. What are you doing in here, girl?" "Nothing." Like, and he didn't see anything wrong with that. Like, he was having like a 2-way conversation, and he was on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil was like, it was uncanny. Like, they're like how like close the voice was, and the guy, he was like a method actor. Like, he couldn't just do the girl voice. He had to tie his hair into pigtails, and like, he had to be like, he had to like lay on his stomach and have his feet kicked up in the air. He had to like pretend like he was a girl in order to like talk in the voice. Like, he was real method about it, which lends to his credibility. He really fooled this guy. He was like in love with this girl. Like, he pretended to die. He pretended to be in a hospital. So he's like, yeah, Linnea's in the hospital today. Do you want to talk to her? And then he like put her on the phone, and he'd be like making the noises in the back. He'd like, boop, 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 beep. He said she died. Like he killed off his fake persona, because he was like, they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out that I'm a fraud. So he killed off the girlfriend, and then he was like, as the guy was like, oh, she wrote you letters for the whole season. Don't worry, we're gonna like. So he basically was like, he was like receiving letters for like from the girl that died, and he was like talking about it after games, and he basically like it turned into this whole motivational story where this guy was like, oh, my girlfriend's dead. I think his grandma died too or something, but I think it was more about, I don't think he wasn't banging his grandma, so I don't think he cared about her as much. He didn't talk about it. I mean, the documentary was about the catfish, so I guess he wouldn't talk about his grandma, but he was like playing through adversity. He was playing really well, you know? And I think he got addicted, because I think he found out he was being catfished way earlier than what he said, and I think he was like, well, I did get catfished, but I'll use it to my advantage. It made him look super cool, because he was like, it was like a real motivate. If this would have never happened, if his girlfriend, it's the only time I think I'll ever be like, dude, I wish a girl actually died, because like he straight up was like, he was balling out, he was kicking ass, and this woman, he was like sending her like Linnea was the fake persona. She was like texting him and being like, oh yeah, like sending him letters. And he was reading them as the season progressed. And I think they won a national championship. I don't remember. I'll be honest, I'm at work, so I'm still a little, my focus is scattered. But he like, sorry, I'm not trying to remember what happened. So he finds out because Linnea calls him and was like, never mind, I'm alive. Because he like couldn't stand that he was sick, because he was kicking ass on the field and he wanted to be a part of it. So this guy, the guy who is like impersonating the girl is like mentally deranged, and his inclusion in the documentary made it so much better, because he is clearly insane. There is no part of the rational human mind who could justify anything. At one point during the documentary, so when the whole thing gets blown up, he goes on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil's like, why, like, how could you think this was a woman? And the football player, I think his name was like Mateo or something. I think his name was Mateo, I think. He goes, it sounded so close to a woman. You have no idea. So he played the voicemails, and then it cuts back to the catfisher, and the catfisher's like, come on. You can't show those were private messages. How could you be so dishonest? Are you fucking crazy? Are you insane? You're cat. How delusional can you be, you freaking moron? Like, you're calling someone dishonest. You're having back and forth two-way conversations with yourself, you freaking psychopath. It was the dumbest shit. And then at the end of the documentary, the dude, I think his name was like, it started with an R. I can't remember the fake name. The Linnea was like the Linnea was the fake name. The real name, I don't think they talked about it as much. But he transitions into a woman, and it's got to be one of the funniest things. Like, he goes, and I decided that I decided I wanted to be a woman. I stepped into my real skin, and they show like them putting like a lei on her and like, you know, like doing her hair up, and then it cuts to her like, it's like in like a very like low income like backyard, like there's like underwear like on like a clothesline, and she's like spinning around in circles, and like the he was I don't want to misgender somebody. But it was so funny. She was like spinning around in circles, and there's like her like crappy underwear is like she's got like the Bobby Boucher the Bobby Boucher sheets in the background. Not really, but like hypothetically, you know, it's funnier for the bit. But she's in the back, like she's like twirling around in circles. The music's all dramatic, and it's like, I'm not sure they think, I don't care about you, you psychopath. Like, I don't give a crap about you. You know, you tricked this guy, like he's always gonna be associated with that, and that's kind of what the whole documentary was about, is how he couldn't overcome it, and he's like, he is such a nice guy. He's like, oh, I forgive her. No, you don't. If someone, because I'm sure they had, at one point, they didn't talk about this, because they really framed it like, oh, he's a Christian, he's like very religious, he's not into that. I really do believe, in my heart of hearts, I have to believe there was one conversation where he was jacking it hardcore to the girl voice. Yeah, she's like, oh. And she's like, oh, my cousin came in. What are you doing in here, Linnea? Nothing. Oh, I gotta go. like hung up, and like he's like, oh, I got blue balls. Like, there's no way that I like. Maybe that's the only. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. Maybe that's why he's not. If I found out a dude, because I mean, like, I'm straight, so like if I found out a woman I was talking to was a dude, and she made like, and I was like, and I full on like got off to it. Oh my god! Like, I would be like, I'd be in such disarray. Like, that would change my life. Like, I'm not trying to be like transphobic about it, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a rape in a way, because it's like, I didn't know, like, I didn't agree to this. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know. I mean, to be fair, you don't know if any, like, if you're watching porn, like, you don't know if they could be dudes. If you don't see, you can't verify, you don't know. I guess. I mean, like, what you don't know doesn't hurt, but it's still. I would never be able to forgive. I would never forget. I would hold a grudge for the rest of my life. I would hate that person. There's no way. There's no way. God, I like that documentary made me laugh so hard. I was cracking up at some of the delusional stuff that she was saying. I don't know if she changed her name to Linnea, but she should. It was so insane. And at one point when Mateo found out that she was still alive after she pretended to be dead, he was like, well, all right, I don't believe that you're alive. I need you to send me a picture of you. You have to write down these numbers on a sheet of paper with the date, and I want you to hold up my hand sign that I invented to honor you. Like, you need to do that. And the psychopath calls the cousin who Linnea was like the actual Linnea, like the pictures and stuff. And she goes, I need you to do this. I need you to take a pic, like the exact specifications. And she took the pictures and sent it back. It's like, dude, the jig is up. Like, what are you talking? Like he was committing so hard. And it's like, they try to frame it like Linnea is the victim almost. And it's like, you're a psychopath. Like, you're like a complete psychopath. And I think that she works at like a Kroger's now or something. And they were like, I think that there was like a scene where they were like panning around her, like stocking shelves. Like, it was like a dramatic moment. Like, she's like putting like a Captain Crunch box like back on the shelf. And it's like, dude, like what they should have done was had like, because the reality of these conversations, it should have been like the action shots should have been her like hunched over like her toilet, you know what I mean, like texting like very like pathetically. Because what's weird was like when it was a woman, like when it was the guy, I can't remember the guy's name. It started with an R. I can't remember the name. They were like, they're from I think they're Polynesian. I think that's what they said. I think they're Polynesian. I don't remember, but they had Polynesian names. It escapes me. I know like 8 names, like Greg, Michael, Kyle. Like, I don't. That's the only names I can remember. If your name's not those names, I blank. I don't have it. There's no frame of reference. But I met a guy named Osama a couple of days ago. I was like, really? I was like, that's a cool name. Like, I don't know. That's cool. I wish I had a memorable name. My name is like too basic. But anyway, sorry. I do that. I just lose track of that. I lose the plot a lot. The dude, he was like not a bad looking dude. Like, he was like a normal looking dude. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his dating history was like, but he transitioned from like a normal looking dude to a very ugly woman. That's like selling your car and then walking to work. You know, it's just like, I don't get that. Like, it's like you go from like, you had like a chance. Like, I mean, yeah, like, did your car get the best gas mileage? Maybe not. Did your car have heated seats? Maybe not. But you traded it in, and now you're walking to work. You know what I mean? You might be comfortable one day, but when the wind blows, like, what, you're freezing. It was yeah, God, that documentary. I'm gonna remember that. I feel so bad for that guy. That sucks. The the other documentary I watched was the one about the Tim Donahue. I think that's what his name was. He was like a mobbed up ref. Dude was like, he goes, so I have like a weird thing. I played basketball my entire life, and the thing about referees is they have more ego than most people in basketball, because there are people who can't play basketball anymore, or if they can, they're not doing it professionally. They're kind of like it's kind of like, it really is kind of like being an open micer as opposed to being like a real comedian. Like, I know I'm pretty close, so I am kind of like the referee version of a comedian. So like, I guess maybe I shouldn't talk shit, but referees, they think that they have like a lot more control over like they think it's about them. Like if the coach talks shit, all right, cool. I'm this team's gonna lose. I'm gonna foul. I'm gonna call 3 fouls really quick on the best player. They'll set him the first half. We won't see him until the fourth quarter, and then I'll give him 2 more, and he's out of the game. And that's high school basketball in general. It's like those dudes are so egotistical. Like if you make fun of them, if you criticize a call, you're not gonna get a call. They hate you now. They hate you so much. They're not gonna give you anything. And this guy was that to the extreme. This guy was a freaking psychopath. What he did was basically he would just like he would call the games and he would basically like this team's gonna lose. He said I can influence the game by 6 points. I keep it close, but 6 points. And he'd call quick fouls. They would text each other, like he'd text the other refs. And from his point of view, he was talking about how all the other refs were involved. Maybe they might be involved. I don't know. But he was the ultimate scumbag. This guy was like the ultimate scumbag. He was talking about his wife tried to be like, "Oh, he was so confident. He was such a great guy." He talked to me on his wife was like a stewardess, and he walked up to her on a plane and was like, "I'm sitting next to you." And she was like smitten by the confidence of that. And she was like, "No, you have to sit in your seat. That's against the rules." And he's like, "No, I'm sitting next to you." And she thought that was so like she thought it was like so like romantic, but then she was like so surprised that he was like rigging these games. It's like, dude, if he doesn't care about the rules on an airplane, probably the only time you actually probably need to follow the rules is on an airplane. Let's be honest, because if you like, you know what I mean, you open the wrong door, you're falling to your death. You know what I mean? Like there's rules for a reason. If you don't put your seatbelt on, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like I've seen snakes on a plane. I've seen Final Destination. You're dead. And he just like he didn't give a crap, and he was rigging these games. But he wasn't the dumbest person. He was a piece of shit. Like he was talking about how much he liked his wife, and then he was like, "Yeah, I make $100,000 a night, and then we were going to the titty bars, but I love my wife." It's like, all right, if you're going to a titty bar, you don't like. I get like maybe I don't know. I'm not every marriage. I'm not judging people. Like if you need to go there to get a hard on for your wife, that's cool. Do what you got to do. I have some. I gotta talk about sirens after this. This dude. There was a guy. He was like, I think he was the bookie. I don't think he was a ref. I think he was the bookie. There was a guy in the doc, and it's literally like 8 minutes into the documentary. It's untold. It's on Netflix. This guy, I was at work. I already knew the story of this. I already kind of knew what happened, so I was like half listening. And this guy tells this story, and he says it pauses, and he goes, "You know, when I was a kid, there was one time I seen a bird pooped on a flagpole, and I said to myself, what does bird shit taste like? And then I ate the bird shit. And I got a thrill from it." Why would you say that on it? Like, I've said some dumb things on this podcast. I have said some things that I don't think I'll ever be able to get a real job. But I have never said I ate bird shit. This guy was like, and he said he thought it was funny. It's like, you ate bird shit, that's almost as dumb as being baffled by catfishing somebody and being mad about them showing everyone the messages. Like that, I don't know who's dumber, Linnea or this guy who's eating bird shit. The bird shit eater, the bird shit muncher. I've never, like, who is eating shit? Like, who is like, I'm gonna eat shit? I've never been like, oh, I want, like, you know what shit tastes like. It tastes how it smells, probably. You know what I mean? And I don't want to find shit could taste like a creme brulee. It could taste like a cream horn. It could taste like vanilla ice cream. I'm not eating fucking shit. And he said it with so much confidence, and then proceeds. This guy was a freaking idiot. Like this guy, the guy who I think he was the bookie. I'm pretty sure he was the bookie. He was like, they all were like kind of like self-aggrandizing, trying to like justify being cheats. Like they were cheating. Like they were like, it's hardcore. There's nothing honest about it. They were cheating the game. They were being dicks. They thought they were bigger than the game. There's a Shaq quote. He goes, "People come here to see the players play, and these refs take over the fucking game." And that's literally what it was. They fucked over Sacramento with fucking calls. They fouled them out of that series. And I don't know. I understand why some people don't watch the NBA, because it is the most influenced sport by that kind of stuff, like by fouling. Like the refs can change the game in an instant. You give someone 2 quick fouls, they're out of the game. All right, you call a tech on a player. You call 2 techs on a player. They don't even have to be good techs. Just be like, oh, he called me an asshole. Tech. Oh, you didn't like. Then the guy argues. Double tech. You're out of the game. He's gone. And that's basketball. You can throw people out of the freaking game. You can't do that in any other sport. Like, I mean, you can, but like, I mean, football, it's like they're so far from you. It's like some guy screaming curse words is like, it's like whatever. It's like it's drops in the bucket. It's like there's one person, so there's 8 other people doing the same thing from all directions. But yeah, man. Speaking of strip clubs, oh my god. So we went to the siren. I did a second mic at the Sirens, which is a strip club. I don't know who came up with the idea of having an open mic at a strip club. And me and Lucas talked about this at length, and it's not the best mic for comedy because it's a weird, like, open mics are already weird, right? Because comedians go to open mics, it's like going to the gym. We know why we're there. If I wasn't a comedian, I would never go to an open mic. Why would you go to an open mic? So it's like there's a different level of like insanity that goes along with I'm going to go to an open mic and watch people do comedy. Like those people are insane. Now translate that to, all right, I'm in a strip club. I'm watching boobs. Oh, they happen to have comedy. I didn't know they told jokes here. Okay. So in the middle of your hard on, you're like walking into the other room and you're going to laugh at some jokes fully hard. Like that's a psychopath. Like these people are crazy. Like I'm there for business. I'm whatever. The boobs are there. I'm not looking. Wink, wink. No, I'm keeping it classy. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. It's a nice room. I'm gonna be honest with you. I handled it a lot better the second time. The first time I was there, I talked shit to my friend. I was like, dude. I was like, who wants to go get a boner with friends? You know, who wants to, like, why would you pay for that? Why would you could watch porn at home? Like, I'm a cheapskate. I'm a cheapskate. And I walked in there, and a girl walked up to me, and it was like, she was an angel. She came and she touched my arm. I was like, I love you now. Like, I realized that about myself, is I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. I like, that's what, the self-awareness is so important. That's one thing I realized, is that I'm not an iron trap. Like, my mind is not an iron cage. I am very influenced by that kind of stuff. I need to, and that's what happened. The second time I was there, dude, I had my focus. They weren't breaking me. And you know what? I'm proud of myself. And that's the thing, is like, yes, I did that the first night. I was thrown. It was my first time. It was like drinking booze for the first time. I couldn't handle the drink. But this time, I handled it well. I'm looking them in the eye. I'm not looking down at their chest. I'm looking them in the eye like a person. And they're pissed because they're like, they want to make money. They're like, I don't care if you look at me. Like, they don't give a shit about you respect. Like, they're like, I don't care if you show me self-respect. That's their job. You know what I mean? They want you to disrespect them, which is kind of fucked. I didn't really think about that way. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm a good person. I'm such a great person. Pat myself on the back. Like, I'm a freaking idiot. That's so dumb. Next time I'm just going to stay in the room. I'm just gonna stay in the comedy room and not, but it's like hard because it's hard to find a place to sit in the comedy room. So it's like you kind of have to stand there and avoid eye contact, because anytime you make eye contact with any of the dancers, they approach you, and then some of them get like really PO'd at you for not giving them money. And I'm not giving them money. I didn't give them. This is so stupid. The first time we went, the host, Terrence the God Show, shout out, great guy. He is such a great guy. I love that dude. He's such a friendly guy. Comedy is full of people who are very standoffish. Comedy is full of people who are kind of dicks. It is so refreshing to meet like a nice guy who is like who's just cool. Like, he was just a cool guy. And he goes, you know what? It's your first time at the club. He gave me $6. He goes, give it to one of the girls. I did like a 5 count. I waited for him to walk away. I threw that shit in my pocket, and I still have it. I still have the $6. I still. I'm such a cheapskate. I still haven't spent it. That's how it's, because it's like I'm not using cash. I don't think, does anyone use cash anymore? I just kept it. I was like, I'm not giving it to them. I want the money. I'm a struggle. They make more than I do. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a cheapskate. I feel bad. There's a guy in the bathroom who sells. He's paid to throw soap on people's hands, and he gets tipped for it. I gotta tell you, I think that speaks to the self-awareness, and also there's like cologne. He sells like cologne. Like, he's in there. He'll give you a spritz of cologne. I really do think that speaks to the self-awareness of a strip club, is they know that most of their clientele are not washing their hands and smell like shit. So they have a guy in the bathroom whose job is literally to throw, no, wash your hands. Like, he'll like throw soap on. He's so aggressive. And he's more pushy than the strippers. He is like way more pushy than the strippers. He is so like, he's like, no tip. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying, maybe this is my conservative, my conservative views showing a little bit. I'm not tipping somebody for I can wash my hands. I don't get this job. Your job shouldn't be a job. I'm sorry. I'm not tipping you for that. I'm not tipping you. I'll tip the person making my food. I'll tip the waiter. I'll tip the Uber driver. I'll tip the DoorDash driver. I'm not tipping the guy washing my hands. I don't need you to wash my hands. That is a dumb job. Like, that's a stupid job. I'm not doing that. The dude's on his phone. What's with the dudes being on their phone at work? Talking on the phone at work constantly. That's a weird... Like, I'm a freaking moron. That's really dumb. I'm on my phone at work all the time. I'm not talking on my phone, though. I'm not, like, having a long-distance call to you know, to the Sudan, talking to, like, my grandkids. Like, I'm not doing that. But I'm watching Seinfeld reruns. I'm watching documentaries about people getting catfished and guys talking about eating bird shit. But I'm not doing. But that's for comedy. I do that so I can talk about it on the podcast. All right. I'm doing that for here. All right. This is my niche. All right. This is where I exist. I listen. I don't think I watch things for the enjoy. I watch it to have things to talk about just for this podcast that I do every once in a while, occasionally. No consistency. Not every... I don't even have a specific day. I think it should be Mondays, but I think... Because hashtag comedy, it was for like the last month, they were letting everybody on, and now it's like, you know, you get on, you might get on, you might get on. Like, it doesn't... There's no guarantee you're getting on anymore. So, I think I need to add a different night. I think I'm going to add Monday to my thing. I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then maybe Friday, Saturday. I think that's going to be my new schedule. And then maybe I'll start doing the podcast on Thursdays. But it's just, I got to be honest with you, I'm burning the midnight oil. I'm burning at both ends. I'm very tired all the time from doing this. I'm very tired. Driving to Columbus is a bit of a drag. But I don't mind it, because it's like all my friends live in Columbus. You know? Like, all my people live in Columbus. And it sucks, because in 6 weeks, all my friends are moving. You know, or 6 weeks, all my friends are moving away. And I want to hang in Columbus because it's like, this is where I live, but I think I need to chase it a little bit more, and I think I need to find something else. I need to find somewhere else to live. I think it's time. I think it's time to go out on my own. I gotta move away from my family and try to make a go of it somewhere else. I don't know. I'm scared a little bit, but I think I need to take this leap. I love what I get to do every week. I love, like, I'm not super successful. I'm not doing anything special. I'm not making waves. I don't think anyone really knows my name, but I love that I get to do this every week. I love that I get to do stand-up comedy. This is my dream. Like, doing this on a regular basis is the dream. And it's like, I'm so happy I get to do this on a regular basis. It makes every day feel so much more, like, worth it. I'm at work all day. I don't want to be there. I kind of hate my life. But you know what? When I get to clock out, I go home, I take a shower, I exercise, and then I go right to comedy. And then I get to see my friends, and they tell me crazy stories, and I tell them crazy stories, and then we go up on stage, and, you know, sometimes you do well, most of the time you don't, because you're trying new stuff. And then you come out and you talk a little bit, you get a drink afterwards, and then, you know, it's awesome, man. I really do. I gotta thank my friends, because I for a really long time, I like lived in a shell where I only did the same stuff. I would hang out at home. I wouldn't go out and go places. I wouldn't be around people. I didn't see the point of like going to bars and like being around people. But like my friends have like really gotten me out of my shell, and like I've really like I feel like I've broadened my horizon. I think that's I make fun of women a lot. Like that's like I feel like it's. And it doesn't come from a place of, like, malice. It comes from a place of, I date women. So, like, they're... Like, if I dated men, I'd make fun of men, you know? But I make fun of women a lot, but like the reality is I think the reason why like men and women like work so well together is like men are very much like we're like creatures of habit in a lot of ways. Like we like when we find something we like, we do it until we can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? You watch a movie, it's your movie. If like I've been playing the same video game for 10 years, you know? And I love it. But like women are just like they're constantly trying new stuff, and they're not afraid to try new stuff. They're not afraid to go to a new restaurant and try something that sucks and get some food they don't know if it's good. They're like so great at that, and they love to try things. And that's like one thing I love about being in like relationships is I'm always trying new stuff when I'm in relationships. You know, like when I'm by like that's the best part about being in a relationship is trying new things, because like they will get you to try new stuff, and that's cool. And every girl has their own like thing, like they have their own like stuff that they're like super interested. They love this kind of I like sushi bars. Oh, I like Chinese food or whatever. Like that. There's always like they always have their specific niche thing, you know, and that's so awesome. Like I think that's so great. I don't have that. Like I eat yogurt with granola. Like I'm boring. I'm a boring person. Like if I wasn't doing stand up, I'd be so boring. Like it's the only thing that I do that's semi interesting. Like when back when I played basketball, like basketball was the coolest thing I did. I was a freaking nerd. I'd go home and play video games after. Like I played basketball and I go home and play video games. I never had friends. Comedy, like I don't have friends at my job. I don't have friends where I live. I have friends at comedy. I have comedy friends, and that's what I like. It is important, you know, like speaking from somebody like I'm an antisocial person. I am a very antisocial person. I'm very closed off. I don't like to talk to people. I I don't, if I'm in a group of like 6 people, I might not talk for 8 minutes just because it's like I'm not going to jump in unless I have something to say, or if I think if I have like someone's interested. If I don't think someone's listening, this whole podcast is, I don't know if anyone's, this is for me. I don't if you listen and enjoy it, that's awesome. I love it. Like, give me a comment, tell me you like it. But at the end of the day, this is for my own, this is for me. This is to help my writing and comedy. Bill Burr said to Bert Kreischer, he goes, do the podcast by yourself. It'll suck for a while, but eventually the writing will get better. Eventually you'll be better at talking and ranting and, being insane. But you got to struggle through like the bad times first. I think that's the one thing that's one of the only positive traits about is I'm kind of addicted to sucking at things. Like a lot, I was talking to this girl for a minute, and she told me that she doesn't like to try new things unless she's good at them, and it's like she doesn't like to like the humility of sucking at something. And I am the complete opposite. Like I actually when I first started doing comedy, I bombed for months, and it was like the only thing that kept me going was the difference between each set. Like if I got one laugh more than the set before, I was like, that was a good set. That was awesome. But I had one, I went up, I was supposed to do 5 minutes. It was I think it was my third open mic. I was 2 minutes in, she lit me and then kicked me off the stage. It was so bad. It was so bad. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. And I drove home, and I was like, the entire way home, I was just like, when's the next open mic? You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to, I really do, like, I feel so lucky I get to do this. And even, like, when it's bombing is so much better than, not sucking at something and trying to be better is better than not trying and just being average at existing. Like, being average at existing is the truest crime. And, like, it's, like, I don't have all my ducks in a row. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still figuring stuff out, like, what I want to do with my life. But there are some people, man, like, they've made decisions already. They have kids. They've got a mortgage. They've, whatever. And those, like, they've gone to prison. They've made decisions that have impacted their lives in a lot of ways. And I'm still, like, very blessed that I don't have that. Like, I haven't made any, like, crucial life decisions yet that have, I can still pivot and back out of what I'm doing. Not a lot of people have that. And I'm very blessed for that. Saying you're blessed when you're an atheist is a very weird thing. I use a lot of Christian terminology when I talk, and I'm not sure why. I probably shouldn't do that, but I don't know. I do my best. I think I'm running out of things to talk about. I think 50 minutes is a good healthy number. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. What else? What else have I seen? Is there anything new coming up? Ugh. Going to Chicago. When I get back next week after that, I'm in Cincinnati. Like gosh darn, I didn't even think about that. I'm not getting a break anytime soon. Yikes, a Rooney. Well, we'll figure it out. I tried to get Josh on that same show in Cincinnati, but I think it's Cincinnati. I think it's Dayton, actually. Dayton's pretty close to Cincinnati, I think. Is it? I don't know. I haven't looked at a map in so long. After a while, dude, like, I drive so much. I don't even think I'm a good driver. I just have driven a lot. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not a good driver. I've just been on the road a lot. Like, I've learned how to be a good driver. Like, I've learned how to be, like, a good bad driver. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you... I don't really speed. Like, I don't really speed on the road, but I will say, like, I'm more comfortable speeding on the highway. Dude, okay, this is a dumb joke, I think. Okay, this is a joke I don't know if this is funny or not. But I was talking to somebody, and I was kind of not feeling it, so I was like, all right, I'll tell them I'm not, like, interested, whatever, I'll let them down easy. And I did, and then they were kind of like, oh, that's okay. And then I immediately was, like, trying to win them back, like, oh, wait, why is it okay, you know? And it's kind of like when you're on the highway and someone is trying to pass you because you're going too slow. And instead of letting them pass you, speed up with them because you're like, oh, hang on. It's like, just let them pass you. You didn't want, you know what I mean? You didn't want to go fast anyways. Just let them pass. Like, who cares? But it's ego. That's all it is. It's just, I have a wicked ego that I need to keep in check with large amounts of edibles and, Jack Daniels. So, speaking of which, God, man, I've been drinking a lot more lately. But that's because I find myself in bars a lot more. I find myself in bars like a lot more than I used to, and drinking makes the bar experience a little bit more palpable. Like last night, man, I just can't believe some people like wait in lines to go into these clubs. Like I wonder what the success rate is for people who are like hooking up with people at clubs, because it doesn't seem like a lot of girls want to hook up in bars. Like I don't think they want to hook up with people. You know, like they seem like they're just there to dance, or at least maybe they just don't want to dance with me. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's a me thing. Maybe I just suck. But I don't know. To be fair, I'm over there. My dance move is like I look like a penguin. Like I'm just kind of like back forth. I look like a penguin holding a beer. Like that's it. Like I'm just shuffling. That's all I'm doing the entire time. I'm just like I'm like not even happy feet. I'm like depressed feet. I'm like neutral feet. Sad feet. All right. Well, this has been the Everything Rocks podcast this Sunday, March 8th. The time of the Irish. I've got an Irish liver. I got green in my vein. Yesterday, a girl goes, you're not wearing green. I was like, dude, I'm Irish. My blood is green, dude. Like, that's because it's so toxic from all the alcohol. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I put my foot in my mouth so hard talking to this girl. I don't know why I said this. I'm getting better at not saying stupid things, but, like, sometimes I say something and I'm like, why did I say that? I told my mom, yeah, I used to be an alcoholic. Why did I say that? That's such a stupid thing to say. Like, I used to be an alcoholic. No, I wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't, like, pissing and shitting myself and shaking in my bed because I wasn't, like, drinking hand sanitizer. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, where's the Purell or whatever? Like, I was, God, it's so stupid. I'm so dumb. Like, why do I say things like that to freaking girl? They're not like, oh, that's cool. Talking to girls isn't like talking to the boys. You know what I mean? Like, and that's in my head, I'm like, oh, they'll think it's funny. They don't think it's funny. They're like, you're an idiot. Why would you say that to me? I will never be in a relationship because of how upfront I am about how stupid. Like, I put my crazy foot forward, and that's why I'm gonna die alone, because I don't have the mental filters to be like, don't say that. Don't say that to them. They don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about you sleeping in your car. They don't want to hear about you being really dumb. They don't want to hear about you failing it. They want to hear that you're good at your job. They don't want to hear that you're like, you suck at things. And I don't, but there's a balancing act, because it's like girls will literally say they're like, I don't like a guy who's cocky. But then if you're too negative about yourself, you're like, oh, I suck. They're like, oh, he has low self-esteem. I don't want a guy who's not confident. But then if you're like, dude, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm awesome, they're like, what a dick. What an asshole. You know? Like, so it's a balancing act. But you know what? I'm young. I'll figure it out. I think one day it'll click, you know? I think just like my experience at the strip club, right now, I'm phased. I don't know what's going on, but eventually, there's gonna come a day. I'm gonna turn a corner and I'm gonna get it, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna curve the bullet, dude. That's a dated reference. I'm gonna curve the bullet, dude. It's gonna be like Neo in the Matrix when he learns I know kung fu. You know, like I'm gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be great. But I feel like when that happens, I'm gonna be in a place in my life where I just do not care about anything. I've got a lot of growing to do before I'm like mentally ready to be the person I think I'm supposed to be. Not quite there yet, but we're doing it. We're a comedy podcast, talking about documentaries once again. Maybe I should watch some reality shows or something, because I'm gonna be honest, I talk about documentaries quite a bit on this podcast. So far, I think the last three podcasts I've done, it's been documentaries. So, well, anyways, like I said, this is Sunday, March 8th. This is the Everything Rocks podcast, episode 8. And I'll get back at you next time. Follow me on Instagram, Ricky McCoy Comedy. Follow me, subscribe to the YouTube channel for sure, dude. Like, give me a like, give me something, help me out here. I'm gonna get demonetized for all the cursing I'm doing and all the dumb things I'm talking about. The only thing that helps is I don't put copyrighted material in my videos anymore. But you guys wouldn't know that because I deleted all those because those YouTube videos sucked. So, anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a great Sunday. I'll try to get back to you. I'll let you know about the Chicago trip when I get back. God bless. Have a great day.